Hello, 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 everybody. I am so happy to be live here today. I have some really cool information to provide to you. I call it Tell Your Story. So I'm going to go ahead and share my background here and show you what I have for you. So let me get to slideshow this. All right. So this live today is about telling your story and how can we sell our services by telling our story. So oftentimes we are not telling our story to our clients, and that is part of the problem if we're thinking that we're having a hard time selling our services. So your story is your most powerful marketing tool, and you're probably not using it. I had a spotlight that's going to be showcased tomorrow with one of my dear friends that does coaching with me, and I got her to tell her story, and it resonated with me. It actually brought me back in time to the place where I was in my life by the story that she told. And it's so important because if we can connect and make that bond with our clients, then we're not having to worry about selling our services by what price we are selling that services for, because people buy from you. They buy you, not the services that you are providing. If they're buying the services that you're providing, then they're going to shop you and see who's going to give them the best deal. So I think that's really important for you to know. So today I'm going to give you a simple framework to turn your story into a client magnet. All right, so context and problem. Most CROs sound like every other CRO, and I'm saying CROs for credit repair organizations, but I'm actually speaking to anybody and everybody who does any kind of sales services, including financial advisors, insurance brokers, tax advisors. So most of you sound like you're wanting to get this lead, like you say stuff like, I fix credit, or I do taxes, or I'm a financial advisor. Without your personal story, you blend in, and this is where clients will shop you for price. So, storytelling creates that emotional connection and that authority that you could have with those clients. So, showing them you've been there and you've overcome the obstacle that they're currently facing, and you have a way to help them get to the other side. I think that's really important. So here's the framework, real simple. It's a three C's of storytelling for CROs. Step number one is clarity, where you came from and why you do this. This is where you're coming down with your own story. And if you have to write this down, I really recommend that you do. What is your story? Where did you come from? And why are you doing the job that you're doing? It's important that the people that you're speaking to, your audience knows your story. So identify the defining moment or challenge that led you into your credit or financial workspace that you're doing right now. What is that defining moment, that challenge? Focus on relatable details, enough to connect, but not to overwhelm. So I've heard people tell their stories and you end up getting glossy eyed because you're like, is this story ever going to end? Because you want to say enough that it actually connects with that client or that your audience, but not so much that it overwhelms them. Like they really don't care that you had the problem, they care that they have the problem. So, how do you connect your problem to let them relate that to their own lives without giving them too many details, which makes them feel like, oh, she's just going on and on about her story, right? So, here's an example. I used to blank versus saying, I know exactly what it's like to be denied for a loan and feel stuck. So, if you think about that, I know exactly what it felt like to be denied for a home loan and feel stuck. I've been there. That happened to me. And this is how I overcame it, right? So, using that as an example, I think would be a great way for you to be able to develop that story. So, I know exactly what it's like. And then you can help them through that. Um, Step two is connections. That's the second C in this three C's framework. Make them see themselves in your story. So use the you language, right? You might have felt this way too. You might have felt this way too. So you don't want to put words in their mouth, but you want to make sure that they you can help them connect this to their own experience. Highlight the emotions that you're likely experiencing right now: frustration, confusion, shame, hope. So, actually giving them the emotions, the words for the emotions that you felt during that time that they might relate to as well. And then bridge. That's exactly why right? So, you might have um, be talking about, hey, I've been there before. I know how that feels. I felt frustrated. I felt hopeless. I felt this. I felt that. And that's exactly why I da 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 do this today, right? So that's your bridge. Step three is credibility. Show you can lead them to the solution. So people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So this is what you're building through your storytelling is you're getting them to know you. You're getting them to like you because they're going to resonate with your pain as their same pain, especially if you really have that niche down, right? I've talked about that a lot. Having a niche, you know the audience you're talking to because you're talking to the people that you can talk to because you've been there before and you've overcome that and now you're helping them through that, right? So share the result or your transformation. I always like to say if my goal is to buy a house, for instance, here's my pain point. Here's the obstacle I had to overcome, and then I got the house. But we can't just leave it at I got the house. People are internally looking for a transformation that happened within you. So I was here. I overcame this obstacle. I bought the house, which did this for me in my life, right? What is the transformation from here to here that you personally had? So tie directly into how you help them get from point A to point B. Example, now I've helped over blank X clients and I can show you the exact steps I used, right? And so if you guys are watching me on social media right now, I'm actually doing a 5-day fast. I maybe go further than 5 days, but we're going to try for the 5 days because I've never done it before. So we'll see how that goes. But um, throwing that out in the world helps me be more accountable. But what I'm also doing in this process is I'm showing someone if they're trying to get their health in check. Here's point A. I'm going to show all the obstacles I have to overcome in this 5-day challenge that I put myself on. And what's the transformation at the end, right? What happened? Oh, yeah. One of the things that happened is I successfully get to my 5-day fast challenge, right? But what was the transformation that happened through me going through this process? And that's what you want to do with your clients is getting them from point A to point B, but also what's a transformation. So again, example, now I've helped over X clients and I can show you the exact steps I used, right? Okay, so implementation and action plan. Your story in 3 sentences. The past, I used to. What is the struggle or the experience or the challenge that you had, right? Turning point. One day I decided to, and then take action, discovery, solution. And then present, now I help others achieve blank results. So your homework that I'm giving you today is write your 3-sentence story today, record a 60-second video telling it, and post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, or any of your social media accounts this week. So I'm going to give you a quick example of Level Up Score in my story with Level Up Score. So again, I'm going to use the same framework, past, turning point, present. So before Level Up Score became a product that you guys now see today, I was doing credit action hands manually by hand. And they were very, very successful. Clients were coming to me and they were turning around and getting their home loan. I was a first-time home loan specialist, and that's what I specialized in my credit work as well. So I was the loan officer. I was also a credit professional. So in this process, I'm handwriting all this stuff. And back then, this is 23 years ago now, there wasn't a lot of software. So you have your Word documents. I can make templates. So that kind of helped that process. But I knew these things were powerful and they really helped. And I knew that I couldn't stop doing them. And my business was growing and growing and growing. And I couldn't stop doing these action plans because they were the reason that my business was growing so fast. Okay. So fast forward, I started getting so busy that I was literally sacrificing my family for my business, right? Which is nothing I would ever suggest to anybody, but I had to do that. And so the turning point happened one day when someone came to me and they said, Allie, why don't you write a book on this? Like, this needs to be in a book. Everybody needs to have this in their hands, and you're only one person, and how can you take on that? So I thought about that and thought about that, and the first thing I thought was, I'm only one person, I'll just hire some more people. And then I found that training them on how to produce action plans was really difficult, really difficult. So then I thought, "Oh, I can't really write a book because everyone has different things in their lives that they're doing, and it's not a cookie cutter system. It's very tailored to specifically what's on their credit and what their goal is." And then it popped in my head, software. Because I knew enough at that point in time, software was becoming really big. And I learned, hey, you can literally take what's in your brain, put it in an algorithm, and the software does the work for you. And I thought, okay. So I got myself an account with Lucidchart and I started writing down everything that I had in my brain and all the research that I had done for years of doing credit repair for free, and came up with thousands and thousands of pages of algorithm for what you now see as Level Up Score. So turning point, now I have Level Up Score, and I was using it internally inside of my business. I was able to now scale my business faster. And then I was able to look at different things that could be in there, like, if they need a credit card, having that specific affiliate link for them to get the credit card. So present day today, I not only did I scale my business and I was able to sell my business and be very successful in my business and not have that workload and not be sacrificing my family anymore, but now I got to give it out to the world for everyone to use so that we can achieve the same scaling results of building our business without sacrificing our lives, and also giving our clients some true value to help them get to their goal. And that's the primary mission of Level Up Score, is getting your clients to their goal, not our goals, their goal. And that's what Level Up Score is today. So that is my 3 sentence story. And I went on a little bit because I wanted to give you a little bit more background, but I hope that you can see in that story that something resonated with you. If you are hand typing action plans, if you don't have resources for the client to actually take the action that you're giving them, and those aren't laid out, if it's not pretty, right, and it's you're spending your life doing it and you're sacrificing your life, now you have a solution that you don't have to do that anymore, right? For me, I don't analyze credit reports anymore, right? I have software that does the analyst analyzes the credit reports for what's got the errors, so I know what I need to do to clean up the credit report, if you will. And then I have Level Up Score that analyzes it for the client's goal and what specific actions need to happen. So that is what Level Up Score is, and that's my story. And I'm happy to explain that in more detail for everyone. If you want to send me your 3 sentence story, I would love to see that. But play around with that because you really want to build that bond with your clients. So this is my Tuesday top tips with Allie. I do this every Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern time. It is recorded and live streamed everywhere. So if you can't jump on at 12 o'clock with me, there will always be a link so you can be on the Zoom. But if you're unable to do that, these replays will be put into the social media accounts. But I appreciate you, and I hope this is a top tip that you will take home today.